Greetings, the beloved of God. Today we'll be talking about the best strategies for productiveness. Believe me, this you have never heard before. So let's get down to it. Do you feel like you never have time to do everything that you've intended to do every day? Or your to-do list never gets done? When it does get done, you are left drained so that you don't have time for your loved ones or to do anything else. First strategy for productiveness is the 80-20 rule. So you may ask, Renandi, what is the 80-20 rule? Okay, the 80-20 rule is a rule that says that you're going to do 20% of your to-do list, or you're going to do 20% of things that are going to benefit the rest of the 80%. So you do 20% of things in your to-do list, and then they are going to give you 80% of the return in investment or return in your time. So you save much time by doing the most important tasks first. This means that you only target the things that really matter in your to-do list. Alright, let's move on to number 2, which is targeting the frog. This is mostly called Eat the Frog from the book Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. So I learned this lesson way back in my life, and it was just so important, and I still love it. I still use this rule every day. You know, a frog is something not really pleasing. So what it actually means is that target your bigger tasks first. So when you wake up in the morning, after writing your to-do list, after knowing what you have to do for the day, whether at work or at home, the first thing you should do is look at your list and think, what one thing can I do today and still have a productive day? You're actually going to choose that thing, and then after doing that, you're going to break that huge task, that frog in front of you. You have to choose, you have to break it down into smaller parts that you'll be able to attack one by one, so that you won't feel overwhelmed and then end up not doing anything at the end of the day. After knowing what your frog is, break it down into a smaller part. After finding the smaller part, take those smaller parts and break them down again into the smallest parts. Smallest parts now is things that you can start doing now. So let's say you are a mother, or you're just a young lady, and then you're having your friends over to visit you. You have to prepare dinner for them. What's the frog there? In your to-do list, you have to prepare dinner for your friends. You have friends coming over to hang out with you. So the frog there is preparing dinner. Your friends are not there to watch TV. Your friends are not there to listen to your stories. Your friends are not there to hear you sing. Your friends are there to eat dinner with you. So the most important task of them all is for you to prepare dinner. Alright, that is the frog. You write it out. So moving on to breaking down your frog, which is preparing dinner, you're going to say, okay, I have to prepare dinner. What one thing can I start with? Let's say look for a recipe. So after looking for a recipe, everything else becomes easier because now you know what you're going to prepare. So you can just say, I need a certain pot, I need certain measuring utensils. So it makes it easier now that you know you have to prepare dinner, and then you now have the recipe. You have to prepare the pot, and then after that you can start chopping, you can start marinating, and then the final step will be cooking. So you see, you took your frog, which is preparing dinner, you broke it down into smaller parts until you go to a point of what do I have to do now. This makes you productive at the end of the day. Let's move on to number 3. Harmony is a must. So I once heard this from Lisa Nichols, if you know her. She says that balance is a myth, but harmony is a must. So in life, we may think that we have to balance everything. So if you go to work for 8 hours, then you have to spend 8 hours with your spouse, spend 8 hours with your kids, spend 8 hours with your friends. I mean, it can feel like that sometimes because you're just trying to balance everything. It's really kind of impossible. And if you're trying to have a productive day, it is really hard if you're trying to balance everything. That is where harmony comes in, guys. We're talking about quality over quantity. It is not about the amount of time, the amount of hours you're going to spend with your child. So say for example, you are now sitting with your child, you are busy on your phone, you're not focusing on them, and then you're just there with them for 4 hours, versus you taking a game and then maybe a book, reading to them, praying with them for 30 minutes. Which one is more productive? Was it you spending time on Facebook pretending to be spending time with your child, or was it you spending 30 minutes reading to your child, talking to them, listening to their queries, what they have to say, how was your day, my child, engaging with them? It's about quality and not quantity. And then this is what I really like about harmony is a must. not balance. Another strategy for being productive is planning in advance. Planning and preparing in advance. This means that you can plan your meals, you can plan your clothes, and then you can also prepare them. Say you plan your meal every day, and then you find that there are certain food in your meals, in your everyday meal, that you can cook them in bundles and refrigerate them and do so. So when it comes to clothing, you know that sometimes you can know the weather for the following 3 days. You can prepare clothes for those days, and then save time in that. You will find that you are so productive at the end of the day because you made sure that the time that you have is quality over quantity. We only have 24 hours a day, so what's important is not for us to complete our to-do list, but to focus on what matters most. Follow this advice and go to bed happy every day, with everyone in your family feeling loved and appreciated. Who wouldn't love that? Who wouldn't love to do the things that really matter in life, to be productive in your days, to feel fulfilled and content? So if it is one of you, type yes in the comment below. Guys, I love you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.